Cher asked, how many of your offices are owned and are being leased from, as you mentioned, insurance companies engaging in business, I presume, with the agency?
Yes, Your Honor. Being NCR, for example, Your Honor, we have 35 district offices. Out of the 35, I think we only are using 11 that belong to the LTO or some other office that allowed us to use it.
So the
about
remaining
20 yes, Your Honor,
24? Remaining 24?
belong to private proponents, Your Honor, and investors.
When you say private proponents and investors, wala kayong binabayarang rent?
Wala po, Your Honor. Just the utilities expenses, Your Honor.
Libre?
No, we pay for the utilities, but rent-wise, we do not pay for
In
anything, Your Honor.
exchange for what?
Although it is not embodied in the MOA or the Memorandum of Agreement, Your Honor, but technically
They
we...
get something out of it, I mean...
The allied services, Your Honor, meaning the emission testing center, the insurance, and before the drug testing, and of course the medical, Your Honor.
May pwesto sila doon?
Yes, Your Honor. But it is separated from our office, Your Honor, although it is within the same compound.
That's a policy adopted by the LTO when?
2002, Your Honor, I think. Prior to that, we were leasing spaces. Supposedly, this was to save the LTO from leasing and renting out properties, Your
You're
Honor.
following under what law? What framework are you using, sir? BOT ba yan?
Nothing in particular, Your Honor. This is just a use of RAC, a free use of the property. Although in exchange for allied services, but actually the exchange for allied services is not embodied in any agreement, Your Honor.
How do you
This is
book
a
it?
matter of practice, Your Honor.
How do you book it, sir? How does COA regard that? How is that booked by COA? Walang reklamo COA. I mean, again, it's either a donation. I mean, something.
No, Your
It must
Honor.
be something.
Just the use of RAC. It's not a donation, Your Honor.
Yusek Lotilla,
I think
it must be covered by a law. I mean, what law are you using?
I think, Your Honor, what has been happening is that effectively the owner of the building effectively allows LTO to use the space. No? I think they enter into an agreement that allows LTO to use the space, and I think the arrangement that the owner has is because of the LTO offices there, the owner of the building is able to attract tenants. The tenants are actually those who provide the allied
Agree. I mean,
services.
the concept is understandable, but what law are you using? Example, dumaan ba to sa procurement law? So paano?
Just
Depende
plain
kung
use
sino...
of RAC, Your Honor.
No.
Yes, sir.
Depende kung sino yung barkada ko. Ako LTO administrator. Kung sino lumapit sa akin.
The process, Your
May
Honor,
ibang
yes.
offer naman. So, did you follow the procurement law?
Yes, Your Honor. The process, no, not the procurement law, but the process, Your Honor, was
What?
that you submit an intention or a letter of intent and proposal, and then it will be inspected. And then if approved by the regional director or the regional office, it will be forwarded to the assistant secretary for approval, and then to the
But
DOTC,
sir,
Your
are there
Honor.
even invitations to bid? I mean, ako nalaman ko to ngayon lang.
No,
Sino
Your Honor.
nakakaalam nun? E de yung sinabihan nyo lang, yun lang din ang magsasubmit ng intention. Di ba? I mean,
Yes,
that's why I
Your
was asking what law, because if it was under the BOT law, or if it was at the very least under the procurement law, for it to be fair. Because right
Yes, Your
now,
Honor.
it's not even initiative driven. Depende kung sino yung kakilala ng
It is
regional
not, Your
director.
Honor, and mostly, Your Honor, it is unsolicited at times.
Unsolicited.
Yes, Your
Nobody
Honor.
even knows about it, actually.
That's why, for example, Your Honor, there are some investors that have more than one LTO one-stop shop, or as we refer to them as a one-stop shop agency, Your Honor.
Sir, can you provide us with information on that? First, a full inventory. How many of that kind of an arrangement we have?
Yes, Your Honor, including sample contracts if
Second, the
necessary.
sample
Your Honor.
contracts. And if you're an attorney yourself, anong class ka? Mas bata ka sa akin?
99, Your Honor.
Mas matanda ako sa'yo. As well as from your legal, the basis. Again,
Yes, Your Honor.
sense of fairness, hindi naman pwedeng kung sino yung kakilala, kakausapin. Baka may better offer pa, malay natin, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long are the contracts usually?
It depends, Your Honor. There are contracts for 25 years, for
Aray ko.
5 years, for 10 years, Your Honor.
Ganon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is DOTC doing this, Yusek Ludilla, for any of its other attached agencies or only LTO?
Not for any other agencies.
This is unique to LTO.
I think this is an arrangement unique to LTO.
You're aware, the DOTC is aware of this? I presume this antedated you as well, but
Dated us, Your Honor.
most of them were entered into in 2002. Now, sir, our actual topic. Can you give us an update? License plates. History, ba't nagkulang? Kung gusto nyo, simulan nyo nung ginagawa pa ng mga bilangguyan, bago kinontract out. At kung kailan kinontract out, sige na, mas maraming kotse ngayon, doon pa nagka-huli-huli.
The problem began, Your Honor, in 2011, 2012. The backlog was caused by the failure of the then supplier to provide the necessary number of plates.
Who was
and
the
then,
supplier?
GJB, Your Honor.
GJB.
And then there was another supplier, DTM, then provided us with the defective plates, Your Honor.
Now, GJB was the lone supplier for the period
longest
2011 to 2012?
Not for the whole of 2012, Your Honor. For 2012, there was also DTM,
So, 2011, GJB.
GJB, Your Honor.
To supply how many plates dapat in 2011 approximately?
All that was necessary, Your Honor, for that time. I think on a yearly basis, we have an average of 400,000 new vehicles, Your Honor.
So he was supposed to supply 400,000 and he
More
failed to
or less.
supply 400,000?
Yes, Your Honor. That
How many
caused
was
the
able to
backlog.
supply?
It was only about, I think, 30 lang. Half of it, Your Honor.
He was only able to supply half of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
He was supposed to deliver the supply for the year 2011 requirements. Clearly he's in default. May I ask, why was the contract never cancelled?
It was canceled in 2012, Your Honor.
It was cancelled when?
Yes, Your Honor. 2012, Your Honor. The following year.
It was cancelled in 2012.
Yes, Your Honor. And we also tried to claim for liquidated damages, Your Honor.
Were you successful?
It's ongoing, Your Honor.
There's a case?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
So nabigay lang niya mga 200,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung DTM,
DTM, Your Honor,
nagka-delay din ba ng 2012?
the same thing, Your Honor. It was it caused delay and also defective yung sinupply po yung mga plates.
So maliban sa delay, defective pa?
Yes, Your Honor. So we were
What was the
unable to
defect?
use them. Iba-iba po.
Napupudpud?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Who owns GJB and DTM?
Yes, Your Honor. If I may. GJM, GJM. We will provide, Your Honor. We do not
Kindly
have
give it to us. I want to know who owns it.
Yes, Your Honor.
The actual owners, ah.
Yes, Your
Kung
Honor.
dinimanda nyo sila, sino yung dinimanda ninyo?
Yes,
Now,
Your Honor.
In these,
So-
in these two instances, magkasunod na taon, palpak yung bidder.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong with the procurement process or with the awarding process, the due diligence? Why can they not supply?
During the stage of due diligence and the pre-procurement, Your Honor, they were able to comply with all the requirements.
Example, Attorney Bantog.
Yes, sir.
Anong rason ng GJB? Bakit di sila nakakomply? What
So-
are they saying? are they saying?
I'm sorry.
Why can
I
they
will
not
defer to-
deliver?
To Yusek.
Please, Yusek.
Your Honor, actually, I think what happened with GJB was an old supplier of LTO. It's been there for a long time, Your Honor. I think what happened was the old management, I think, it's a family corporation, I believe. And I think the one who used to manage, I think, was the father. And I think he passed away sometime around 2010, 2011, somewhere there, Your Honor. And I think what happened was the successors, I think, were not as I suppose as competent managers as the previous one. So I think that started the decline, Your Honor.
Was GJB the lone bidder at that time? It was, di ba?
It was.
Ito ba yung may issue nun, if I remember correctly, that your terms of reference identified as one of the requirements that the supplier should have been engaged in the business of supplying license plates to government for at least, if I remember correctly, 15 or 20 years? Ito ba yan? Which one is that?
Your Honor, yes, I think that was, I think because that was precisely the reason why the terms of reference were changed.
Yeah,
in
they
the
were
later
changed.
cases.
But initially when it came out, di ba ganun yun? Binago. May nagreklamo yata, may nag-question at that time.
Not tailor fit.
GJB was not benefited by this. Sabay na benefician at that time. Kayo naman, alam ko, si GJB lang naman nag-supply dyan for the past 20 years eh. Wala namang iba eh.
Yes. In all likelihood, Your Honor, I think with that kind of specification in the terms of reference, then medyo may...
Kaya, B stands for Bailon, right? I presume. It does. Sorry, without any, no pun intended, mahilig ako sa mga kotse at lumang kotse, kaya yung mga pangalang yan, matagal nang lumilitaw at lumulutang, lalo na sa LTO. So, GJB has been supplying license plates for the longest time actually, sa LTO, di ba? It even antedated the procurement law na nagsusupply sila dyan, di ba? Now, up to now, yung bodega ng LTO, in fact, di ba, ng plaka, owned by LTO? But used by whichever winning bidder, of course, wins the supply contract for plates. Di ba? Para secure yung mga plaka. Now, who won in the latest bidding for the new plates?
JKG, Your Honor. A
JKG.
Netherlands Dutch company, partner with Power Plates Development Concepts Inc.
Now, they're supposed to supply how many plates? Under the contract.
Under the contract, Your Honor, they're supposed to supply... Saan may notice of award, Your Honor?
All, di ba? Babalikan natin yung luma, di ba?
All beginning, Your Honor, we have a cut-off, Your Honor. They will not be doing the backlog. They will be doing the new design, the new plates. For motorcycles, it will commence September 2013. For four-wheeled motor vehicles, February 17, 2014, Your Honor. They'll be supplying all of those, Your Honor.
Eh, yung backlog,
The backlog is still being made by the plate-making plant of the LTO, Your Honor.
hindi to yung DTM.
Hindi na po, Your Honor.
Plate making plant ng LTO
Of
yan.
the LTO, yes, Your Honor.
Which will adopt the new design already?
No, Your Honor. The backlog is filling up the backlog for the four-wheeled motor vehicles, Your Honor.
I heard Secretary Abaya when he appeared on TV, sabi niya yung mga plaka daw lahat magiging pare-pareho.
Yes, Your Honor. At a certain point, for February 17 up to April, Your Honor, we will be doing the new plates for the newly registered vehicles. However, come May or June, Your Honor, also the vehicles renewed or under renewal will be given the new design plates.
So pag nagpa-renew ako ng rehistro, after May, bago bibigyan ako ng bagong plaka.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's under the
JKG.
JKG na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Iyan na yung JKG.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano yung backlog na sinasabi niyo? Yung mga wala pang plaka.
Yes, Your Honor. January.
Why are you the one doing it? What happened to DTM?
DTM, as stated, Your Honor, they also failed to comply with.
Did you sue them as well?
We have sent letter of demands, Your Honor, but not yet an actual case. But we intend to, Your Honor. We also intend to claim liquidated damages, Your Honor.
Against them?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, yung delay natin ngayon, kayo na gagawa at pupuno?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, based on records, the plate produced covers already up to December 2013, Your Honor, and most of January 2014.
Yung mga plaka ngayon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the plates under GKG is alphanumeric. Diba? 3 letters,
For yes, Your
4
Honor.
numbers.
For four-wheeled motor vehicles, yes, Your Honor.
Who decided that?
Your Honor, we already ran out of...
No, who decided that? Was the law passed? Was a law passed authorizing this? Is a law necessary authorizing this? Or did you just decide to come up with 3 letters and 4 numbers?
Sir.
I might have lost track. Baka kasi may napasang batas eh. Pero I'm not even saying a law is required. I'm just asking.
No, Your Honor, it was the entirely
It's an
the
executive
office.
decision.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, why not 4 letters and 4 numbers, 3 letters and 5 numbers? Out of curiosity, because, sorry, mahini ako sa statistics at sa permutation eh. Pang ilang kotse yung 3 letters at 4 numbers nyo? I presume.
We have about 7 million vehicles, Your Honor.
No. Yung
So,
permutation mo ng letters and numbers, pang ilang kotse yan? Mahina ako nga sa math, Yusek eh. Paki-compute, Yusek Bukayan.
We did that calculation, Your Honor.
I'm sure you should have done that calculation.
Our human calculator.
How many vehicles do we have right now? 7 million? Registered? Yung 3 letters and 3 numbers, naubos na natin yan, di ba? Kaya lumalabas na yung I, yung O, at yung Q, di ba? Yes, sir. Easily dila.
Your Honor, I think I was just talking with the staff, Your Honor, and they said that their understanding was it would be reaching around 17 to 20 million cars.
17 to 20 million cars ang kaya? Isig ba kayan? Tama?
One minute, Your Honor.
7 million ang actively registered. 17.
17 million,
5 million.
576,000, Your Honor.
Based on your projections, how long will this last us? No, you're at 9. Pero may mga hindi na nagre-rehistro, patay na yung plaka, di ba? So, how long will this last us? Yusek Limgago.
We had that calculation. I cannot remember, but I do remember doing that calculation with Assistant Secretary Aljuntan. But we can forward that to you. Matagal-tagal pa ho. Oh,
Hindi naman 5 years.
hindi naman ho.
More.
More.
But if that were the case, again, why not? I mean, for whatever it's worth, why not 4 and 4? Kasa pa yung cheese. Hindi kasa. Cheese lang yun eh. No, why not? I'm again, short-sightedness on the part of the previous administrators of MRT, di ba? Kaya naghahabol tayo palagi. In this case, actually, mali nung una, di ba? 2 letra, 3 numero. Ginawan 3 letra, 3 numero. Bakit ba pautay-utay? Can't we have one for the next 100 years? I mean, why even plan for the next 10 years? I'll give you one point of example, sir. Our coins. Yung coin natin, tinutunaw at binebenta sa ibang bansa for its mineral content. Other countries, actually on a yearly basis, look at the metal content of their coins and change it and reconfigure it so that the face value of the coin cannot exceed, the face value of the coin will never be lower than the metal content of the coin. Otherwise, we keep on producing coins na mahal, na tinutunaw lang, na yung face value naman mas mababa. Ang problema pa natin, hindi na natin ginagawa yun, binabago-bago pa natin yung hugis, itsura, at forma. I raised that up because if you look at the 25-cent coin in the US, the metal content of that coin actually changes almost on a yearly basis para hindi tunawin. But the size remains the same. Yung 5 centavos nila, yung 10 centavos nila, yung 25 cents nila, yung dollar nila, it remains the same. It hasn't changed for the past 60 years. Kaya walang vending machine sa Pilipinas eh. Kasi yung pera nagbabago, binabago nila yung denomination, binabago yung itsura, hindi kinakain ng makina eh. Kaya yung mga payphone din natin, naubos na lang lahat eh. Buti nauso ang cellphone kasi wala nang 3.25 eh. Iba na yung hugis eh. But the same is true for this particular instance. Why can't it be a one-size-fits-all for the next, let's plan ahead, for the next 100 years, for the next 20 years? para hindi ho balik-balik. Malaysia, for example, they come up with plans. Ang definition nila ng long term is 100 years. Tayo, di ba, yung medium-term development plan natin, 6 years. Tayo lang yata ang bansa sa mundo ng medium-term development plan is for 6 years. Ang long-term, presumably doble, 12 years. But in this case, at 17 million, how long, sir?
Your Honor, I just would like to make correction on the statement earlier, the computation. 3 letters and 4 numbers will give us 175,760,000.
Parang mali yata yun, Yusek. Nakotse?
I computed that 26 by 26 by 26, and then permutation for 10, 10, and 10, and 10.
What do you mean 10, 10, and 10? 1 and
10 to
0.
the fourth, 10 to the fourth, and 26 to the third. You multiply that will give you 175 million. The figure we provided earlier was based on 3 digits, pala hindi namin na-multiply into
4 digits.
4 digits, yes.
So, sir, kung 3 digits yan, sorry tanggalan mo na isang 10. Ilan yun?
17.
So it's
70 million?
17.
No, 3 letters, 3 digits. How many?
17,576,000.
17 million and 3 digits, 3 letters.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pag ginawa mong 4 digits, magiging 100.
75.
Mag-compute tayo, Lisa, na parang mali yata yun. You're talking of a jump of 90%.
Permutations because each spot will give you 10 times
Each number.
each number because for the first letter you will have 26 options, and on the second letter also 26, and then 26 because duplication is allowed.
Alam nyo kaya ako nag-polsay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes naman. Yes
the-
naman agad.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Your Honor.
Sige ba, please continue. I was kidding.
If the duplication is allowed, then the figure will be the same, will be different. But since if duplication is not allowed, then the figure will be lesser.
Now,
But
you'll follow the same procedure. Confirm with us the figure. I'm happy if it's 150 or 170
Yes, Your Honor.
million. Will you still not use, or will you use last? Yung I pa rin at yung O at yung Q like you did before, or it doesn't matter anymore?
Your Honor, I'm just computing the figures and
That
as to
includes
the
all, diba?
policy. This includes everything, Your Honor.
Now, as a policy, Attorney Bantog, will you use the I, Q, and O letters? You're using it now
We're
dahil
using it
kulang
now,
na.
Yes, Your Honor.
But in this new plate system na 3 letters, 4 numbers,
We'll be using all, Your Honor, except for the government
Na S.
acronyms. No, and for example, LTO, NBI, Your Honor, DOJ.
do you
We'll be eliminating that from the series, Your Honor. The government acronyms, Your Honor. We will not be using that in the series.
DOJ, NBI,
BIR, Your Honor, for example, CTA.
BIR, DOF,
Yes, Your Honor.
I presume lahat.
Yes, sir.
Lahat ng may 3-letter acronym.
Yes, Your Honor.
DAR,
Yes, Your
DBM,
Honor.
hindi lang i-issue yun. But the I's will be used.
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
O's will be used.
Will be used, Your Honor.
Will it be geographic again? Dati di ba ang A, Northern Luzon, kami sa Bicol, nasa I yata kami noon. Will you use the same?
Supposedly, no, it will no longer be necessary, Your Honor, considering that we will be placing the region where it was issued, Your Honor, below the numbers or the numerics.
Wala nang nakalagay na tuwid na daan sa baba, tulad ng
No other
matatag na
design,
Republika.
Your Honor.
Wala nang gano'n
No, Your Honor.
Generic na yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's going to be black and white, right?
Black and white with the barcode, Your Honor.
With the
For
barcode.
security features, Your Honor.
Paano pag masira yung barcode?
They will ask for a replacement, Your Honor, of the plates, Your Honor.
Replacement of the plate. Iba yung harap sa likod, pareho yung harap sa likod.
Pareho po, Your Honor.
Interchangeable.
Yes, Your Honor. But however, if you place it, it will no longer be interchangeable considering that there is a different screw, Your Honor, that will be used.
Ano ba yung screw na gagamitin nyo?
It's a special screw, Your Honor, that once you place it, the top will break off and then it will no longer be removable.
Is it a rivet? A rivet. Huh? It's a rivet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Actually, it's not special, it's a rivet.
Yes, Your Honor. But it hasn't been used before, so we will be using it now.
But
Your
I can
Honor.
remove a rivet and I can replace a rivet too. No, I mean,
Yes, Your Honor.
bubutasin mo lang yung sa gitna, tanggalin eh. No.
Screw.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, actually, it's a screw with the head snaps off when you tighten it, so that it cannot be removed. So it's actually a screw or a bolt, and as you tighten it, you reach a certain point that the head snaps. So the surface will be flat.
So, pag nabangga yung kotse sa harap, kailangan i-surrender yung bumper? Hindi, you have to surrender your old plate. No, you have to surrender your old plate unless you're not issued a new one unless you surrender your old plate, presumably. So,
It can be removed, Your Honor, but once you remove it, you have to replace the bolt or the screw.
and I presume you will place the bolt inside a secure location? Kasi kung kaya naman tanggalin, I mean, can you promise me that I cannot buy that bolt anywhere else? Kayo lang ang meron?
Your Honor, actually, it's a special type of bolt.
Tayo lang ang meron?
It's a technology, actually, Your Honor, that dates back to the Romans. It's Roman engineering po eh. It's a type of technology that's used for the Roman javelin. Kasi po sa end po kasi ng Roman javelin, when it connects to the wooden handle, meron po, they used to put lead. The reason for that po was when it hits the enemy shield, na-embed po yung head nung javelin. And the enemy cannot just pull it out and throw the javelin back to the Romans. Mababali po yun. Yun po ang that same
concept,
Yes
but
po.
can it be duplicated? If it dates back to the Romans, I mean,
it's
somebody must have been able to do it already.
it's I think the technology po, I think Your Honor, was I think it's something to do with the metallurgy that's used for the making of the bolt, Your Honor.
Agree, sir, but I can remove it easily. No problem, I tell you. I can remove the plate easily. Machine shop lang yun o shop lang yan. Ang tanong lang yung pagbabalik uli. So, what I'm asking is that screw not available in the market? I presume it is. Unless, again, Congress passed a law prohibiting its sale or considering it as a regulated product. I mean, so, di ba, going through all the trouble of, alam mo yun, secondly, is it illegal to remove the plate and to use another screw to put it back?
Under our new administrative fines and penalties, Your Honor, yes, it is considered tampering with the plates, Your Honor.
It is considered tampering with the plates.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, pwedeng hulihin ng pulis yung plakang maling screw ang ginamit?
Yes, Your Honor. But actually, the thrust of the Assistant Secretary is to just ensure the placement of the correct screw or bolt, Your Honor, instead of issuing a citation ticket, Your Honor.
Ensuring the plates are installed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Actually, I was about to ask that. Can you do that by administrative fiat? Provide for a penalty? I mean, so far as...
There is already a penalty, Your Honor, for tampering of plates. We are just
you
including
tacked
it.
it there. You
Yes, Your
included it.
Honor.
You included it in the definition of tampering.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anong haba niyan? What's the length of the plate? Same as the length of the plate now, or
Same.
longer? Longer. Patingin. May hindi, wala kang actual eh. Is it longer than the usual plate? By how many inches? No, I asked that question because American cars, American-made cars, has a smaller space for plate numbers. Hindi ka kasyan dyan. Tingnan nyo lahat ng E150 na lang. Nakabaliko yung mga plaka sa ngayon. How will you install that there? Was that taken into account when you did this? Di ba, European plates are longer. Pero tinan mo, lahat ng European-made cars, mas mahaba yung nalagyan ng, ng plaka eh. Ang Japanese-made cars, Thai-made cars, etc., Chinese-made cars, walang problema. Generic siya eh. Kasa European, kasa yung sa American plates. But for American-made cars, hindi siya kakasa kahit anong gawin mo eh. Does it provide for babalikuin mo yung plate? Where do you attach it anyway?
Actually, Your Honor, it is our trust that it is the manufacturer who should adjust to the standardization, Your Honor, of the plates, considering that there are only few vehicles which will not be able to accommodate the standard length of the plate numbers, Your Honor.
My problem with that, sir, is I don't think the manufacturer will adjust simply because about 2,000 people buy a Ford in the Philippines vehicle. I don't think they will adjust.
And it was not raised, Your Honor, we had a public consultation, Your Honor, way back in October 2012.
With the manufacturers?
It was open to everyone, Your Honor.
And that concern was not raised?
We did not have any, we had that concern on our own, Your Honor, but it was not raised by an outside party, Your Honor.
So, sir, by May, wala na tayong backlog, updated ang plaka, kada bibili ka ng bagong auto, may plaka ka na agad?
No, Your Honor, you have to wait for 45 days because it is also made to order, Your Honor.
What do you mean by made to order?
You will be assigned a specific number and then we will order that plate, Your Honor, and then there is a 30-day period to manufacture the plate and then for the delivery, Your Honor.
Why, sir? Why?
Oh,
What do you mean assigned
it
a
is no
plate
longer
and then made to
it is
order?
no longer pre-ordered, Your Honor.
Why?
Your Honor, I think it's because, di ba yung, as you pointed out, di ba, yung designs of the cars are different. No? So I think what's going to happen really is when somebody, let's say, buys a new car, naka-specify which model, no? Yung sino yung manufacturer. So I think even the plate, I think, has to be configured in such a way that it will fit po in that particular
I don't think so.
vehicle. Oh.
No, I don't think so because it's one size fits all yan. They won't change it depending on the car. No, but, di ba, AAA 0001, 0002, 0003, 003, 004, 0005, di ba? Why do you have to order? Why can't the plates be on stock? First in, first out? Di ba? Pag dumating, AAA 0001 ka.
Because, Your Honor, that was already part of the reason why we underwent with this project because we had problems when we had stocks of the plates. There were times that the LTO personnel would allow the choice of an ending of the number, Your Honor. It will not be in sequence and then the stock will be missing or they will be hoarding the plates. Things like that, Your Honor, that actually caused the plate standardization program, Your Honor.
So gagawin pa lang yung plaka upon registration of the car?
Yes, Your Honor. The number will be assigned.
Literally gagawin pa lang nila yung plaka once the car is registered?
Yes, Your Honor.
So they
It will
won't
be
have plate numbers in stock?
No, Your Honor.
How long is the contract with GKG for? So they'll supply
5
it for
years,
the next
Your Honor.
5 years, ganun? Wala silang in stock? So after 5 years, kung ma-delay na naman assuming yung bidding, may delay na naman tayo sa plaka? Again, I mean, what did you contract them to do anyway? To supply plates for the next 5 years? Walang number? Sir, walang number? Wala kayong in-order na specific number of plates?
Your Honor, in the bidding, there's a specified number, Your Honor.
Minimum.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, the number of plates for motor vehicles is 5,236,439.
That's what we will pay for.
Yes, Your Honor.
We will pay as soon as they make it. Magbibill sila sa atin monthly. Ganun ba yan? No, because, sir, again, remember,
There's a schedule of delivery, Your Honor.
but how can there be a schedule of delivery if you don't know yet? Sorry, I fail to see the logic.
Your Honor, I've just been advised that the payment is going to be based on what is ordered and actually delivered, Your Honor, and accepted by LTO, Your Honor.
And accepted by LTO.
Yes, Your Honor.
So they'll put up a factory here? They will?
Yes, Your Honor. They will put up a facility here locally.
To manufacture the plates?
Yes, Your Honor. Initially, the first batch will be manufactured outside of the country and in Netherlands. And while they're doing that, they will put up a facility locally to manufacture.
That explains the 45-day delay dahil imported pa siya? Or it's a 45-day delay talaga? Forever?
I think in the notice of award, Your
Please,
Honor, it says that delivery shall be 30 days upon receipt of the purchase order at 20,000 pieces per day, in accordance with the schedule of requirements as stated in the bidding documents and the contract charter. So it's really 30 days that they're
30
supposed
days lang?
Yes, Your Honor.
30, not 45? Or sa kontrata, dun
The,
sa
the
owner,
manufacturer, Your Honor, is 30 days. However, we begin with day one when you register with the district office, and then the district office will order that with the regional office. So that is, we will give that a day 2 or day 3, Your Honor, and then from the regional office to the central office, there are also a certain number of days, Your Honor, for the ordering system, and then the 30 days to manufacture, and then the delivery, Your Honor, for the remainder.
and the reason for this again is ayaw niyong may nawawalang plaka at may na-assign na specific na plakang may ending yung mga LTO officials?
Yes, Your Honor, because of the shortage of plates, Your Honor, that we believe was artificial during the past year, Your Honor.
Sir, aren't there any other easier ways of addressing that than i-order nyo pag na-assignan pa lang? I mean, forgive me, there must be a better way. I know exactly what you're talking about. Alam nyo, mas mabilis ako makakuha ng plaka sa LTO kapag special plate yon. May dagdag bayad ka lang pero lalabas yon. Pag wala kang piniling plaka, yun ang mas matagal lumabas. I mean, everyone in LTO knows that. Everyone who has a new car or has a car also knows that. That's common practice in LTO. For the longest time, actually, even before you. But if that's the problem that you seek to solve, we're going through this process of, di ba, hindi ba pwedeng i-secure nyo na lang yung bodega kung nasan yung mga plaka? And then issue it, numerohan nyo, first in, first out? Because essentially, time and motion wise, you're asking the person to go back to LTO at least twice to register and then to claim his plate. Why even go through that? Why even go through that? And the problem you seek to solve is the corruption associated with the issuance of plates? Sir, please, kindly explain it.
Actually, Your Honor, for the initial delivery of JKG, we will be receiving pre-ordered plates, 20,000 beginning April 15 and about 30,000 by the end of April. So at least for this batch of new plates, Your Honor, they will not be experiencing the concern of Your Honor. However, Your Honor, we will address the concern, Your Honor.
Sayang, bago na yung supplier, bago na yung plaka, you're talking 45 days pa rin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Secondly, the stickers. Iba ba yung bidding ng sticker sa plaka?
For these new stickers, Your Honor, no, it will also be made by JKG, Your Honor.
No, but what about the previous
The backlog,
suppliers?
Your Honor, is being filled up by Apple Printing, Your Honor. government to government.
Ba't tayo nagka-delay dati?
Same reason as the plates, Your Honor. The supplier used to be also GJB, Your Honor.
GJB ang supplier ng plaka, GJB ang supplier ng sticker.
Stickers, Your Honor.
DTM ang supplier ng plaka, DTM ang supplier din ng sticker?
No, just the plates, Your Honor.
Sinong supplier ng sticker ng 2012?
GJB, Your Honor.
Siya pa rin? Kala ko kinancel niya yung kontrata.
On 2012, Your Honor. That's why APO stepped in for 2013, Your Honor.
And kailan tayo makakahabol sa sticker?
Right now, Your Honor, we have about a backlog of almost 200,000. But by the week, APO is producing 40,000 or more, Your Honor.
40,000 stickers?
Or more, Your Honor. So by the end of the month or earlier, Your Honor, we will be able to fill up all the backlog of the stickers.
By end of April, wala nang backlog sa sticker?
Yes, Your Honor.
Under the contract with GKG, sila na lang mag-supply ng sticker?
For those registered, Your Honor, after February 17.
So may sticker pa rin?
Yes, Your Honor. It will be a third plate. This sticker will have the plate number, Your Honor.
Akala ko may barcode na yung plaka.
Yes, Your Honor.
So kahit na may barcode yung plaka, may sticker pa rin?
Yes, Your Honor. To check the updated registration, Your Honor. There is only a portion of the year that will be perforated or can be removed to be replaced by the current year, Your Honor.
You still have two types of stickers, one for the plate, one for the windshield?
Just for the windshield, Your Honor.
Ah, wala na sa plaka?
Wala na po, Your Honor.
Sa loob pa rin dinidikit o sa labas?
Sa loob pa rin po, Your Honor.
Parang yun ang awang, hirap lagyan ng tint yung auto pag may sticker sa loob eh. Hindi. Is it only done here na may sticker sa loob at hindi sa labas? I think dito lang yun eh. Alam ko ang sticker ng lahat ng registration sa ibang bansa nasa labas eh. Dito lang. What's the reason for that again? Can you refresh my memory?
Tampering, Your Honor. Removing the stickers and placing it in other vehicles, Your Honor.
Removing it and placing it in another vehicle.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you already have a way to prevent that. Pinaperforate yung sticker, di ba? Hinahati para hindi mo makakuha ng buo.
Yes, Your Honor. That was already introduced, Your Honor.
Anyway, pag naglagay ng tint sa harap, di na rin makikita yung sticker mo eh. Lalo na kung every year, yung unang sticker na nilagay, nasa loob ng tint yun. Pero yung subsequent stickers na ilalagay, nakapatong na sa tint yun. Hindi mo na naman makikita galing sa labas eh. Sa totoo lang, if you look at the practical application of that. So by end of April, zero backlog tayo sa stickers? You're hopeful? You're positive? You're sure?
Positively hopeful, Your Honor.
Anak ng tinamang buhay naman. Sticker. And then your new registration will now be with GKG at walang backlog doon, presumably, sa mga
Yes, Your
bago.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, one more thing on registration. What's this memorandum issued by the LTO centralizing the registration of new vehicles?
Yes, Your Honor. The Assistant Secretary issued Administrative Order AVT 2014-024, placing all initial registration, which includes brand new, imported, used imported, all vehicles with initial registration in order to be registered in the regional offices and not anymore in the district offices.
Why?
The reason, Your Honor, first was to streamline the process because when a vehicle is purchased, the sales invoice is actually processed in the regional office already, Your Honor. And then all the data is encoded in the regional office, including the owner's details. So actually, the district offices do not perform any other function than to confirm or to simply click, sir, Your Honor, the mouse to check the details already inputted in the regional office.
But can you apply in the district office?
No more, Your Honor. Effective March 10.
I'll give an example. Where is your regional office in Bicol?
Legazpi, Your Honor.
Hindi, pupunta ron yung taga Catanduanes?
Yes, Your Honor. But to address that, the dealer already went there for the processing of the sales invoice, Your Honor.
So sagot na ng dealer yon.
Yes, Your Honor. That is already the first stage. So actually, that's why we are explaining that we are streamlining the process. There is no more need to go to the district office, considering that they already went to the regional office. We eliminated another step, Your Honor.
So regional office na mag-issue ng registration
Yes, Your
papers,
Honor.
including the plate?
Yes, Your Honor. All plates will be with the regional offices
for the new cars
for the new vehicles, Your Honor.
and will be sent through the dealer.
Can be, Your Honor.
No, will it? Because if it's the owner who will get it, how will he get it?
Yes, Your Honor. If the dealer, Your Honor, will get it, then the dealer, Your Honor.
The dealer. Now, insofar, the last point for LTO is, insofar as the current agreement with Stratcom is concerned, ano nang status nyo? Again, earlier, I told you, Secretilla, yung renewal nila ng kontrata sa O&M ng rail, ganyan din ang ginagawa ninyo sa LTO. When did the contract with Stratcom expire?
2013, Your Honor.
February 2013. And the first extension was for how long?
The first extension was until October, Your Honor, of last year.
Why October? I'll give an example. Why not August? Why not November? Why not December?
Actually, Your Honor, it was because at that time the thinking was that the new IT system would already be in place. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, so I presume the reason why it was delayed for 10 months or the contract was entered into for 10 months was because, as I said, natapos na sana yung bago. Why is it still not in place?
There was a failure of bidding in the first bidding, Your Honor. So, and
Before you
then of
continue,
course,
the main reason for the failure of bidding was kulang ang bidder.
the bidders were not able to comply with the requirements, Your Honor.
So walang qualified bidder.
Yes, po, Your Honor.
So that was, I presume, before the expiration of the contract. This was done in 2012.
Actually, Your Honor, the bidding was started before expiration.
Okay, so in 2012.
Yes, unfortunately, Your Honor, we had a restraining order against us, which lasted for several months, Your Honor. So we could not proceed with the bidding immediately.
This is
Your Honor.
because of the intra-corporate dispute within Stratcom.
Allegedly, Your Honor.
Diba?
that
The
was-
supposed intra-corporate dispute.
Yes, Your Honor.
One of the parties to that dispute filed a TRO.
Yes, Your Honor.
TRO to prevent government from what?
Effectively, from proceeding with the bidding, Your Honor.
From proceeding with the bidding. Tapos na yung kontrata eh.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, the allegations, because there was a previous bidding po kasi, Your Honor, with respect naman to the licenses. Tapos po, ang nangyari dyan, that the second case that was filed was piggybacked on the old case. And so nagkalabo-labo po yung kaso, Your Honor. It even reached the Supreme Court. And from an original case, which was supposed to be an interpleader, it became
Full-blown case.
an intra-corporate dispute.
Yes.
And so the entire process became.
But I understand that case is now finished to the Supreme Court.
This is the intra-corporate dispute which started in Pangasinan, Your Honor. But the interpleader case, which was converted into an intra-corporate dispute, Your Honor, is still pending before the courts, Your Honor.
Up to now.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, who is running the system now? Still Stratcom?
Yes, Your Honor, because
So after October, in-extend ulit. Up to when?
actually right now, Your Honor, the extension that is happening is
Monthly?
monthly, Your Honor, because our concern, Your Honor, is that it will stop the entire process in its tracks, Your Honor. If we
Question, is that, what's the basis? As lawyers, what's the basis? What's the basis of extending a contract on a monthly basis?
Well, Your Honor, in this case, this is really the exigency of the service, Your Honor, because we cannot, if there is no service provider, Your Honor, then there can be no registration. The process will have to go back to manual, Your Honor.
I agree with you, but why monthly, for example? Why not quarterly, semi-annually? At the rate you're going, why not do it for a year? I mean, how long do you intend to do this on a monthly basis?
Actually, Your Honor, we're in the process of renewing it at least for the period until the next service provider
Oh, yung
is put
pwede
in
yun.
place.
Until new bidders shall have been awarded, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, Your
Kesa
Honor.
naman monthly.
Yes, Your Honor, but we have to go through a certain process, Your Honor, because we have to get clearances, including from GPPB, Your Honor.
GPPB and
Yes,
COA, I
Your Honor.
presume.
GPPB because of the size of the contract, Your Honor.
Even COA na nga, maniguro na rin kayo, pati COA, para wala ng cost for additional delay. Now, how much does DOTC or the LTO owe the service provider as of today?
Offhand, Your Honor, I think because there is an amount which
I
is
presume billion na.
in the escrow account, Your Honor, which has not been released. It's around 3 point something billion, Your Honor, and the accumulated fees, I think, would maybe today would reach nearly 5 billion. I think, Your Honor.
Nearly 5 billion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Everything is being deposited in an escrow account.
Not
No,
everything,
wala na.
Your Honor. The escrow account is the one that was put up under the original contract of Stratcom, Your Honor. Now, with respect to the amounts that are payable to Stratcom today, they are actually going into the this is the escrow account.
February 10.
As of February 10. As of
Magkano na po?
February 10, Your Honor, the escrow account is at 3.272 billion, Your Honor.
Escrow account meaning yan yung binayad sa kanila.
Ang dapat binayad po sa kanila.
Ninyo.
Opo.
And they're not being paid because?
Because of the pending case pa po, Your Honor. Now,
Nasa treasury.
the rest of the amounts payable, Your Honor, which are in the treasury account, Your Honor, would amount today to around 1.875 billion, Your Honor.
So nearly over 5 billion.
Yes, Your Honor.
And even the one in the treasury, you'll put that in the escrow account.
No, Your Honor, because that one is no longer covered by the original contract, Your Honor. So that would normally be now paid directly to the
And that's being
service
paid to
provider.
them?
No, not yet, Your Honor. Not
Why?
What we're doing, Your Honor, right now, we're in the process of clearing everything, Your Honor, so that this thing gets settled, because it's even getting in the way of our the reforms that are being put in place in
Because
LTO.
if I were them, correct me if I'm wrong, even if you extend it, I can refuse to extend it if I'm not getting anything out of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba? I mean, I'm agreeing to the extension mutually with you. If you're not paying me, why should I?
Actually, Your Honor, we must, of course, give it to them, Your Honor, that they have been doing the service.
Even if you're not paying them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Even if we are not directly paying them, Your Honor, however, they are still being paid directly through interconnectivity fees by the insurance companies and by the emission testing centers. They are still earning, Your Honor.
Fine, agree. I'm not saying they're not earning anything. They would have shut down if they're not earning anything, but still government owes them a substantial amount. What particular case is preventing you from releasing the escrowed amount?
There's that pending intracorporate dispute case, which is still pending in the RTC of Quezon City, Your Honor.
RTC, yan na yung umakyat, di ba?
Yes,
At
Your Honor.
bumaba.
Tapos bumalik. Opo.
Bumaba, hindi pa tapos.
Hindi pa po tapos. We're trying to see, Your Honor, how we can...
So the amount in the escrow will not be increased anymore kasi yun yung old contract. Yung 1.7 na sinasabi mo, ito yung based on the extensions already,
Opo.
which is not covered by the pending case.
Technically po, it's not...
It's not.
Covered by the pending
Now,
case.
what's the status of your bidding procedures with respect to your new IT provider? Nasa na kayo? Sir?
Your Honor, actually, we're already in the process of bidding it out. In fact, we've already had 2 pre-bidding conferences, Your Honor, where there were a lot of interested bidders, actually. Unfortunately, I was just informed, Your Honor, that
Nag-meeting kanina?
There was a hearing.
There was a hearing, Your Honor, this morning in Mandaluyong RTC seeking for a TRO or injunction against the bidding, Your Honor. It was not yet granted this morning, however, there will be another hearing tomorrow, Your Honor. But in the meantime, the scheduled April 8, Your Honor.
April 8 is the scheduled submission of bids.
Yes, Your Honor.
The contract amount is how much? 3.4 billion. So barring the issuance of a TRO, matutuloy yung bidding sa April 9, May 12.
It's been moved, May 12, Your Honor, is not submission bids, but submission of pre-qualification.
Submission of pre-qualifications.
Yes, Your Honor.
So barring any TRO, that will proceed, right? Even with the pendency of the case,
Yes, Your Honor.
that will proceed. And so far, given the pre-bid conference, hindi tulad dati na walang pumasok, ito may interesado?
Dami po.
Yung sa una, there were 7. Now, I think it's 22, 24.
Really? And of course, whatever data Stratcom generated is ours.
Under the terms of the contract, yes, Your Honor.
It is ours,
It is
right?
ours.
It is ours. We can manipulate it and we can utilize it for any purpose we may deem necessary.
Yes, Your Honor.
They don't own it, although they control it now.
They don't own it.
And that's clear in the contract.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kindly submit that to us too, yung cases that are pending in relation to MRTCO, because as we have been seeing, either yung supplier ang may problema or you've been hindered by cases being filed left and right against you. Kindly give us that list so that we can be appraised, and second, we can find ways and means as well from the point of view of legislation, anong magagawa namin kung meron to prevent these things from happening, either in the way of a more generic terms of reference or provisions for bidding applicable to all to prevent any questions later on, or number two, I don't know, as a lawyer, yung Secretaria, Attorney Mantog, if you can limit the issuance of a TRO via legislation insofar as certain projects are concerned, wala bang bond requirement yan? Meron, di ba?
Meron po, Your Honor.
So nagbaband yung mga yan?
Yan po ang kasi nai-issue po yung TRO eh.
Can you find that out for us too, how much they're posting by way of bond? Because if I were government, I'd argue that if you were going to issue a TRO, the bond that should be posted should be equivalent to the loss government stands to suffer, because we might end up spending more if it becomes more expensive later on. So it can be equivalent to the amount we need to spend to get the same amount of service or product at a later time, given the delay caused by the TRO.
Actually, Your Honor, it should be the plus that and the economic cost to the country, Your Honor.
Yes. Pakisubmit sa amin yun at pakisabi na rin kung magkano yung bond, kasi kaya yung madalas tinitiyaro eh. Magkano ba yung bond na pinopost nila? And perhaps that can be an area of legislation we can come in na sige, okay lang magkaso, sige, okay lang magpatiyaro, but the amount of the bond that you should post should your case or your cause of action, should you fail to prove your cause of action, will be equivalent to the loss plus damages, of course, on the part of government na na-delay yung project for so long a time because of that case or that TRO.
We would gladly submit that, Your Honor.
Please, sir. I promised you we won't reach lunch. We breached lunch. We won't set a date, Yusek Lotilla. Kindly just submit to us first, kung maintindihan ko naman na base sa drawing, yung intricate corporate structure ng MRTCO, MRT DevCo, ng MRT Holdings, ng DOTC in relation to the operation of the train systems that we have. The same is true for the other lines, kung pwede. It's not as complicated, right?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
LRT is owned by government, diba?
Yes, Your Honor.
1 and 2 is owned by government.
Yes, Your Honor. So it's really just MRTC.
Just MRTC. Please
Your Honor.
kindly submit that to us. In the meantime, hearing chair would suspend the hearing and thank the guests for coming. Sorry, hanggang sandwich lang kami. Papakawalan ko kayo para hindi na tayo abutin lunch. Again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Hearing is suspended.